I know I haven't been very active on YouTube, but the reason is because life always has a way of keeping me on my feet. People will think the stuff that I'm going through can be the littlest things. Well, even the littlest things can quickly build up. It eventually doesn't turn into just one little thing. That one little thing builds up to an even bigger problem. I got enough that I am worried about. And I know you're all like, well, you know, you shouldn't let the little things get to you, and you shouldn't just spend the rest of your days worrying. True, but like I mentioned earlier, the littlest things can quickly build up. And the stuff that I'm worried about does involve me. It evolves around me also. So I'm hearing different stories about my brother. One part I heard that he is losing his house, losing his job, and not to get into too much detail, but let's just say the people around him are not quite respectful. Now, mind you, he came from the same dad, but not the same mom. Now I'm hearing recently that, he's buying a house and has a new job. I don't know. Something's weird. Something's bullshit. Please excuse my language, but I ain't feeling it. Something's not stirring the Kool-Aid on that one. But if it's true that he's doing great, all right, cool. I'm happy for you. I want the best for you. My grandmother just turned 84 yesterday, so shout out to her. But the problem is that she's now currently living in a hospital and is permanently living in a hospital. She's constantly worried about her apartment. But this poor old woman, she needs 24-hour care. It takes 6 nurses to help her through the day. And yet my dad is paying her rent. I don't understand what's going to happen after this. He can't keep paying on it forever. I love my grandmother, I do. But he can't keep paying on it forever. Eventually, the stuff is going to have to go. But I'm not going to say anything or do nothing about it. There's not much I can do. And if I tell him that he can't keep paying on it forever and that it's all going to have to eventually go, I become the bad guy. But it's the truth. It's the cold truth about this. But, hey, let me say something. Again, I'm the bad guy. I don't say anything, I also become the bad guy. So what choice do I have? Sometimes it's best to just keep your silence. I guess sometimes it's also best to just, hold your peace. I guess that's what I should be doing from now on. That's another thing, too. I've been trying to tell people a few things that's been going on with me. But every time I say something, or at least try to tell somebody, I'm either shunned, I simply can't get it out, or something else comes up. But it is what it is. But at the same time, why give somebody your dirty laundry? They'll just feed off of it. So I figured, go ahead and tell the camera. At least the camera will listen. Oh boy. And there's more to it than that also. There's more. One other thing that's really been on my plate, and this one really hits me hard. I've been a custodian coming up 5 years now, and I've been stuck on night shift for 5 years. just this past few months, I've been really trying to look for a day shift. But in the custodial world, it's actually hard to get day shift. I mean, there are day shift jobs out there. Don't get me wrong, there are. But your best luck on getting that is at like a middle school or a high school. Well, I've been looking and looking and looking. I'm down to where, like, screw it. I might actually do something else. I'm getting tired of doing the same thing over and over and over. It's like a continuous routine. Like, it just doesn't end. It does not end. I feel stuck. I feel stuck in this loop. And I've actually brought this up to my family before. Guess what all I keep hearing? It's in your head. Keep playing tricks in your mind. Get used to it. Oh well. You're being over dramatic. I could go on forever. I know how I feel. I don't think I'm crazy. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's felt that way before. But right now, I don't know what holds my future for my job. I've brought it up to my boss before that I am interested in the day shift position. Unfortunately, after the surplus that has been lifted, there's no day shift. Matter of fact, he's going to hire another 8-hour just to help everybody on nights. But I got another coworker who has a second job, but there's rumor that he's going to leave that job and quit. But he's going to stay on days. He should really move to nights with us. That's how he was originally supposed to be hired as. But when he was first hired about a year or two ago, they put him on days because of his second job. Well, his second job should not have to be our problem. It's became our problem. And when that happens, we got a big problem. You know what I mean? It's screwing all of us over. I'm really almost considering either really looking for a day shift custodial job because I really need one. I'm tired of doing nights. I don't want to do nights anymore. I mean, I'll stay on it for so as long as I have to or so as long as I need to. But I can't. I don't want to do it anymore. If I have to change jobs or change careers just to get day shifts, so be it. So be it. Just as long as I keep my employment benefits. I need my insurance. But I'm also not willing to take a lower range. I'm either going to stay the range that I'm at or go higher. You can only go higher from where you're at. Hell, I started out as a housekeeper, on call quite a bit. Then I moved into the school district. Which, believe me, I'm glad I did. I'm happy to not be a housekeeper anymore. That was hell. Maybe down the road I'll probably talk about it, but not right now. I ain't got that kind of time. But I have no idea. I have no idea what's gonna happen. But what I do know is that I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over. Which, right now I'm doing something about it. I'm looking into it. It's one thing for someone to wake up every day dreading to do the same thing over and over. Which, yeah, I'm dreading to do the same thing. But doing something about it makes a bigger difference. I'm trying. But it gets pretty hard. It is what it is, though. I'm really trying. I don't really know how much more I can keep taking this, though. But, as everybody says nowadays, it is what it is. Now this one has been really bothering me. I've told a couple people about this before. The first person I told this to, I didn't get into as much detail. The second person I told this to, I got into a little more details, but I didn't get a chance to finish. So I'm just going to get right down to it. And the saddest part about what I'm about to tell you, I don't have a lot of evidence to back up what I'm saying. The only one I have to really back up what I'm saying is my birth certificate and some stories that I've heard. Let me get into it. A little while ago, my grandmother came into town, and I haven't seen her since the pandemic. Actually, I take that back. I haven't seen her since longer than that. The last time I saw her, her father passed away, I want to say in 2019. And my mother, prior to his death, would see him every single weekend for a good year and a half while he was in a home, because he had Alzheimer's. And he would see, I'm sorry, this is how messed up I am. I'm mixing everything up. And I'm jumping from place to place. I'm trying to stay in one line. Alright. So, my grandpa was in a home, and my mom would see him every single weekend just to make sure he has all his supplies, his medicine, he's cared for, whatever else he needs, all this good stuff. Now, I have seen him quite a few times, don't get me wrong, and then the times that I didn't see him, I was either working or I just had something else happening. But other than that, I did see him quite often too. And then my grandma, she lives in California. I can only think of a few occasions that she's been in town and she would see her father, which is her father. Then my aunt, I've only known one occasion that she's seen him, and that's it. But even put two of them together, that's very little occasions that I've seen Grandpa compared to my mom seeing him every weekend. But anyways, flash forward. I stopped seeing her and stopped talking to her because the grandma kind of jacked us around on the inheritance. And I thought it was pretty messed up. So I decided not to talk to her anymore, let alone even just, visit her. Then, the pandemic hit, the virus hit, and all this, and all this, and all this, which we all know. That's nothing new. I mean, it sucks. It's bad. It's bad what happened, yes. But anyway. So, recently I saw her, and I almost forgot why I stopped talking to her. But I decided to see her because, she is my grandma. Alright, now back to what I was really saying. So I visit her, and some subjects have been coming up lately that have been very off-putting. My grandma mentioned this date that my mom had, somewhere between December of 1997 to January of 1998. Now keep in mind, my birthday is September 27th, 1998. Something happened between the time frame of where I was conceived. And the funny part is, I was supposed to be born Virgo season, which, thank God, I wasn't. I was born Libra season. I was born 10 days late. If I was born during a Virgo, ugh. But I'm happy to be a Libra. I'm actually proud of that. But, anyways, I guess sometime in January of 98, my mom, she was 18 at the time and a senior in high school. But she was seeing this guy. And, they went on a date. They've been seeing each other for quite some time, I guess. One thing sort of led to another, and, I was conceived. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my father, he was not mentioned during that conversation. We're talking about my mom's boyfriend during that time. After that conversation, I'm all confused and spun out. I come home that day and I ask my dad, hey, what were you doing between Christmas of 97 and January of 98? And I remember at one point he was visiting his ex-wife and his son, my older brother. I said, well, were you around my mother during January of 98? And I could tell the wheels are turning in his head. He's trying to go back into time machine mode. And he's like, no, I visited them for Christmas and then I went home by New Year's. Well, New Year's is January 1st. I was born September 27th. Supposed to be born September 17th. It takes 9 months for a child to be born, for a woman to carry the child. Now it's coming together. Right around that time frame, my mother was dating somebody. Then I asked my dad, did you ever see my mom at the time? He said no. But I guess they were in contact with each other. Now things are getting strange. Things are getting pretty weird. I'm questioning more about this. And yet, more and more stuff comes up. That this man that my mother was dating at the time denies any accusations of me being possibly his child. The story gets more interesting too. This is where things get really, really interesting. The only evidence I have to back up what I'm saying is the stories that I'm hearing, the stories that people are telling me, and my birth certificate. And I'm not going to show you guys my birth certificate on YouTube for everybody and their mama to see. No. No, I can't do that. That's too personal. But I will tell you this. I took a look at my birth certificate. And everything on there is correct. My time of birth, my mom's name, how much I weighed, what hospital I was born in, city, state, hell, my blood type. Everything on there is correct. But there's one crucial detail. One crucial detail that sets the whole thing off. You see, my last name is Pfluger. And for years and years and years and years, I've always thought that was my mom's maiden name. At least that's what everyone told me. That's not true. Turns out that's not true. Pfluger is not my mom's maiden name. And there's a man on there, underneath father. I have his last name. That was my mom's boyfriend. The man's name is Bill. But the father that's raised me for all these years is not Bill. My stomach started to turn. I felt my heart drop. I started questioning everything. I asked my mom if Bill's really my father. She denies it and says, no, Jerry's your father. I go back to Jerry and I said, Jerry, are you my father? He just looks at me. He just does this. Like he can't answer it. I don't know if he's trying to avoid lying to me or if he really does not know at this point. I don't know either. There's only one way to find out. Sometime later, because it is his birth week, I don't want to, raise any any alterations or get into conflict or anything like that, but this must be resolved. I understand I don't have a lot of evidence backing up everything that I'm saying, but the only real one I have is my birth certificate, and it's not like I'm gonna post it up there. No, I'm not doing that. That's too personal. It's almost the same as posting your pay stubs. No, I'm not doing that. That's too personal. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just telling you the facts. At least the facts that I'm getting. But I don't know what's gonna happen either. And the crazy thing is, I've only told a few people about this, but not everyone knows this, that me and my mother have always had a rocky relationship. Upon me in elementary school, middle school, and it was really bad in high school. Even getting out of high school, going to the culinary academy, becoming a housekeeper, getting into the school district. As a matter of fact, I've, helped my mom through a lot of stuff, but I never received a thank you. Not given any credit or nothing. My mother and I have always butted heads. We've never really got along. Do we have our good days? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we did. But now, getting older and older, these are the only things that I tell my mom. Good morning. Have a good day. I'm home. Good night. I talk to my father more than I do my mother, and we all live in the same house. I don't know what's going to happen when I do order the DNA kit, and I don't expect them to be cheap either. But I want the most accurate results too. The main thing is I want the truth. There's just no way. Because sometimes I've even questioned if my own mother really is my mom. You know why? How can someone like me come from someone like her? But then again, I thought more into it and I realized, well, everybody only has one mom. Everybody does only have one biological father, but there could be lots of dads into someone's life. But this changes a lot of perspectives, no matter what the results come out as. If the results come back that Jerry really is my father, well, then my birth certificate is a big fat lie. I have someone else's last name that isn't even really my dad. But, if the results come back that Jerry is not my father, there's going to be a whole lot of heartache. There's going to be a whole lot. It's going to hurt me. But I also mentioned that I want the truth. Whatever the outcome comes to, then so be it, you know what I mean? I've been trying to find ways to tell people about this, but there's the full story. People are like, oh, you probably left some stuff out of it. Well, sure, there's probably some details that I did leave out, but it's not like I'm gonna pour everything out. Again, like I said, why give somebody your dirty laundry? At least I gave you guys half the load. The other half, some things are just best left unsaid. The other stuff I'm just leaving out. You don't need to know the rest of the stuff. I already know what the rest of the stuff is. Yep. So that's almost everything. So yeah, I feel so tired. I'm exhausted of doing the same thing over and over again. You know, I'll admit this myself. I may not be smart as everybody else. Sure, I probably have made some mistakes in the past. We all do. We're not perfect. But you know what? There's been some things that are showing its true colors to me. And that's fine. I'm happy that you're doing that. Because right now, at this point, there isn't a lot that's going to get me. I may be dumb at times, but I'm not stupid. I may not be smart as everyone else, but at least I know more than what I say. I know more than what I think. Sure, I'm kind, but I can also be cold. I can be hot-headed. I can be a lot of things. But I know what I am and I know what I'm not. I'm a little bit of everything, but nothing in between. I either care too much or I don't care at all. I can be emotional. I can be a lot of things. I either say a lot of things or I'll keep quiet. I either feel like talking about things or I don't feel like talking at all. There's reasons why I don't really tell people a lot of things that I go through. Like right now in this video, I've already poured pretty much a lot out of me. Believe it or not, it took a lot out of me to tell you guys what I've been going through. This is why I haven't been very active lately. And while we're on this subject, I don't know what the outcome's gonna be. I know in that one video I mentioned, of course, me getting high and stuff, and, I've mentioned that I have a feeling things are going to be changing for me. Some for the better and some for the worst. I predicted quite well. Keep in mind, I didn't really want to do this. I felt like I didn't even need to do this. It was just something for fun. And I knew some things were going to change. I knew some things were going to happen, but Jesus Christ, I didn't think everything was going to come out like this. I'm 24. Almost a quarter of my life has gone by. And I'm wondering, am I on the right path? Am I in the right direction? Was I put on this earth to be where I am right now? I know. Only I can figure that out. Which I am. I'm in the process of that. Sometimes I wonder if I'm beneficial where I'm at right now, or am I just being used? But it is what it is, everybody. That's why I haven't been very active lately. As a matter of fact, I haven't been very active on social media either. And keep in mind, I do have Snapchat, I have Skype, I have Instagram, and I have Messenger. And you're all probably like, oh, Messenger is Facebook. Well, Messenger also works with Instagram. I've thought about making a Facebook account just to get in touch with some family. But I think I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit. I think I'm going to hold off. And even between Instagram and Messenger, I'm mostly active on Messenger. Very rarely I go on Instagram unless if somebody messages me. I mean, hell, all my notifications are turned off on Instagram. And even between Skype and Snapchat, I'm wondering why I have those. It's basically the same as Messenger, just Snapchat has a bunch of these stories. I've taken a look at it, a few of them, don't get me wrong, and some of them are quite interesting. Some are just like, what the hell am I watching? But I don't know. And as far as this YouTube channel, I've got a couple things, happening. As far as this YouTube channel, I don't know if I'm going to be more active. I don't even know when my next video is going to be. If I do, however, choose to make another video, I am thinking about making some upgrades. Maybe starting over. Create a new channel. Thinking about starting over. Maybe really, like start from square one. I'm thinking about starting over on this YouTube channel. But if I choose not to come back, you'll know by never seeing this channel again. But yeah, I don't know. I got too many things going on and I'm real occupied and real busy. And as I mentioned before about things showing its true colors, I'm sorry, guys. Things are really, really turning the tables for me. I got a couple people in mind that need to be confronted. I got a couple people I'm really thinking about dropping out of my life. I don't need their stuff in my life. I don't need their drama. I don't need their shit. I'm going to be quite busy for the next while. So if you guys don't hear back from me, it's one of three things. I'm dropping you out of my life. I'm kicking the idea around and maybe doing a loyalty test on you guys. Or I'm keeping you in my life just real busy. Nothing personal, just business. But I got a long list of people that I know are loyal, that are honest, that are true. A long list of people that I do care about. One in particular individual that I truly love. And I know he's there for me. Yeah. So that's why I haven't been very active lately. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to be more active. But we'll just see what happens. If I have an update for you guys, I'll give you all an update. But let's just see what all happens. Like I said, it is what it is. At this point, I'm not going to challenge fate. I'm not going to challenge life. Let the chips fall where they may. They say things happen for a reason. I'm not sure what the reason behind all this is. Maybe down the road it's to teach me something. Maybe it's, a life's way of giving me a gift or something. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm going to be pretty busy with a lot of things, trying to figure some things out. I appreciate all the love and support you all have given me. I really do. Thank you for watching my YouTube videos. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I really do. Just in case I don't make another video for a while, which possibility, I want you all to take care of yourselves. In good health, in good prosperity, good fortune. I wish you all nothing but the best. This isn't necessarily goodbye forever. Like what Shinedown says, sometimes goodbye is a second chance. So I love you all. Thank you for your support, and I will see you whenever. Bye.